Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Dear Divine Selves, please join me for Vedantic meditation that is called Nidhi Dhyasan in Vedanta. Nidhi Dhyasan, that is profound Vedantic meditation, is a very effective tool of immediate self-realization, whereby we try to go straight at the source of our life, our existence, and that is the core reality of ours. After Shravan Manan, that is hearing from the competent qualified guru about the essential unity between the individual self and the supreme self, we reflect on that supreme truth. We imbibe that reality after reflection, clarification on the great sentences, the import of great sentences like Tattvamasi, thou art that, or Aham Brahmasmi, I am that supreme truth. So after real understanding from a competent teacher or guru, and then try to see for oneself, where is that self, where is the Atman that is called and known as the immortal, eternal reality, the substratum of the entire universe. So for the direct realization of our innermost core, this is profound Vedantic meditation called Nidhi Dhyasan. Please join me. I will help you and guide you to take you straight at the core of everything, everyone, that which is the source, substance and substratum of all time, all crime, all objectivity, the entire universe. And that source, substance and substratum is nothing but your own self, Atman, of the nature of pure consciousness. And that is eternal, immortal, infinitely blissful reality. So let's go there straight. In briefly, I will introduce you and explain to you what are the difficulties in going straight there. So let's see. As in the case of perceiving an object, I am watching at my fingers or palm. This palms or my finger or my hand is an object. So anything and everything that is an object of perception, experience, immediate experience as an object of direct perception or direct knowledge or experience is not self. So the entire body and the totality of body is called universe is directly being experienced, known and perceived by each one of us, whether wise or unwise. Every jiva is experiencing, knowing the external world. So you negate that because that is an appearance, that is false, that is ever changing. Then you go to the subtle dimension of your personality. This was the gross. It was easy to understand that anything that is gross, that is a subject of perception, observation, experience and knowledge, that is unreal and that is not my nature and I have nothing to do with. So therefore, entire objective world and this body of mine also is an object of direct perception for me. Therefore, it's false. So I have nothing to do with that. Now the next step is, what about the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the mind and intellect? That is part of Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. That too is directly perceived, experienced and known. I know for sure that, oh, my mind is agitated or my mind is peaceful. I am happy. Who is saying I am happy? It's mine. I am happy or I am suffering. So anything that could be experienced as an object, the seer of that and experiencer of that must be separate. So mind and intellect for themselves can't experience their own state. The seer and seen are different, two entities. By definition, see, my hand is before me. My eyes are watching or seeing or perceiving this hand. But can this hand also say, I am also watching? No, it's inert. It's an object. So it's unreal. It cannot watch anything. It cannot experience anything. So it's unreal. Even so, the infinite chain of thoughts arising in our mind and intellect called Antahkarana, the inner organ, the chain of thoughts, emotions, feelings, these are being experienced within. I do experience that I am happy or unhappy, I am agitated or peaceful. So who is the one who is saying, I am observing the state of my mind? That observer, the seer, the knower of the mind and intellect must be a separate entity. That same observer, seer and knower is the supreme reality. It's so simple. The seer, knower, observer and experiencer, I am using the terms to make it simpler for all of you. They are not different. The seer, experiencer, knower, perceiver are one. They are different words for one reality. The seer, the same seer is perceiver, experiencer, feeler, thinker. And who is that experiencer and knower? It's me. Me, I. Do you have any doubt? Does anybody have doubt whether the person is stupid or the most intelligent person? No, everybody does experience the body, the entire objective world, and the state of the mind too. Therefore, the I must be separate from the not only mind, but the thoughts of mind and intellect. All the mental modifications, emotions are separate from me because I am observing. So who is this I? This I is the declaration, the ultimate declaration, supreme declaration of the Upanishads, the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, is none than this I consciousness. I, Aham Pratyaya in Sanskrit, my. This is none other than this witnessing consciousness, Pratyagatman, Sakshi Chaitanya, which is immortal, eternal, infinite reality. But only in association with this body-mind complex, because of the finitude of this body-mind complex, it also, due to ignorance, superimposes the death, birth, disease, decay, happiness and sorrow and finitude of the mind-body complex. But in reality, when you go deep within in transcendental meditation, nirvikalpa samadhi, and when you become one with that, you merge yourself, fully dissolve the entire mind and mental modifications in the seer, the knower, the witnessing consciousness. Then you would realize the true nature of yours, that infinite reality, that witnessing consciousness, the indweller within, Pratyagatman, is none other than the God, the Brahman, which, due to its illusory association with the body-mind complex, has come to assume limitations, The limitations of the Atman, the mind, are not its real limitations, but the limitations of the Upadhis, the limiting adjuncts. The body is a limiting adjunct, the senses are limiting adjuncts. The mind, intellect, they are limiting adjuncts, the superimpositions. So, due to mutual superimposition, sorry, the light has gone. So, I will have to conclude in 5 minutes. You can listen in any way and then you can practice. So, what I was trying to say that directly one could go at the source, substance and substratum of our life, the essence of our life force, that is Pratyagatman, Sakshi Chaitanya, and this mind has no independent existence of its own. It arises, it exists, and it finally returns back to that pure consciousness. The light of pure consciousness alone illumines all mental modifications. Every single activity of every single organ, whether motor organ, organs of action or organs of perception, all of these organs are illumined by none other than the Sakshi Chaitanya, the witnessing consciousness, that is an ever-present reality within me. The speaker is speaking through the light of pure consciousness. You see, the light of electricity at this moment has gone out. The light of sun is not available. The light of fire is not around. The light of lamp is not around. But the light of pure consciousness, which is self-luminous, self-effulgent, absolute light, it never goes away. It's ever-present light. That is the light of Atman, the light of self. And that is the ultimate reality. That ultimate light, the light of pure consciousness, Chaitanya Prakash, Atma Prakash, Brahma Prakash, that light is light of even the electricity, the light of sun. By that is the light of my own self. My Chaitanya Prakash, my Atma Prakash, my Brahma Prakash, it never goes out anywhere because it hasn't come out. It's an infinite, eternal, immortal, absolute, unconditioned reality. In that light, the speaker is speaking, even if the light of electricity has gone out in Rishikesh. It doesn't matter. The light of sun also is because of me. I illumine the light of sun, the moon, the stars, the galaxies, the light and heat in the fire I am. The light and heat in electricity I am. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakah, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutah ayamagnihi. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tameva bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Me as witnessing consciousness, as Atman, as the indwelling self, is the light of pure consciousness, and the light of pure consciousness is that supreme reality where no light can reach. The light of sun, the light of moon, the light of electricity, the light of fire, all of them are unable to reach that realm and domain of the light of pure consciousness I am. By my presence, by my being, the entire being of other lights, the light of sun, the moon, the stars, the fire, electricity, all get life. And that eternally shining, self-effulgent, self-luminous light of all is ever present within my heart. That is in my intellect, my buddhi. How to ascertain it? Just go and try to find out the ever shining I, aham pratyay, my. Where is that? Where is the location of this I? When you go and investigate for yourself, you would find that this I is not located in any particular part of the body or any particular organ. So, it is the light which is there in intellect. Intellect, buddhi alone is called in Vedanta as Hriday Gupha and Hriday. So, witnessing consciousness, my own Atman, where no sun, no moon, no electricity, no fire can reach, that light I am. I am not dependent on light of electricity, light of fire, or light of sun. In fact, they, on the contrary, they are dependent on me. Without my existence, there is no existence of sun or moon or the stars or galaxies or the fire or electricity. All of them appear and come to existence after I do come to existence. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tameva bhata sarvam idam vibhati. After I illumine, after I shine, the entire range of physical material light is illumined through my light. I am that immortal, eternal, absolute light of Atman. Brahma Prakash, the light of God's supreme reality. I am an ever-present, just go deep within, in your own buddhi, that light is shining. Ever shining as I, that is Brahman. It's so simple. The only difference between the ignorant and the wise is that due to ignorance, this I consciousness is associated out of ignorance as this body-mind complex. Once you come to know that you are not the body, you are not the consciousness, you are not the senses, you are not the ego, but you are illuminer of all these. You are the life force of all these. You are not dependent on anyone, anything. You are absolute reality, but only due to Maya, the effects of Maya and ignorance and nescience, you have assumed your association with this upadhi of Maya, limiting adjunct. The moment you break free that, no, I am witnessing consciousness, Sakshi Chaitanya right now in the waking state, in the dreaming state, and even in the so-called sound sleep state, my presence can't be denied, because when I wake up in the morning and if somebody asks, did you get a sound sleep? I do say, yes, I had a very deep sound sleep, I enjoyed it. Or I say, no, I didn't have sound sleep, I was dreaming all through night. Who was there to watch it? If you were in deep sleep and there was no presence, because during the deep sleep, the mind, intellect and senses all fall asleep, all fall silent, all become inactive. Who is present there? That is the fundamental discovery, contribution and point of Vedanta from the Western science, the modern science, which says that these three states alone are real. There is nothing in the state of sushupti, sound sleep. No, that is not true. Unless and until I was present during every second of 6 hours or 8 hours or 4 hours of sound sleep, I enjoy it. How can I testify in the morning that, no, I didn't have a dream, I didn't have any agitation, I slept like log. Who testified that? That is witnessing consciousness, Sakshi Cheta hi kevalo. That is my Atman. ever-present reality. The Atman is ever-present, and yet, due to ignorance, we are looking for that supreme reality, the God and Brahman, somewhere else. The Brahman is right within you, right now, right here, in every state of mind, in every state of the physical, whether wellness or illness, that light is shining. There is no impact. The sun who is illuminating the entire objective world doesn't get affected by anything as it goes wrong on the objects it illumines, whether it's a flood, whether it's the earthquake, whether there is fire, whether there is mud or dirt, that sunlight doesn't get affected. So death, disease, decay of the body, or the sadness, sorrow, pleasantness, happiness of the mind has no impact on me. I am the eternal, immortal illuminer of the mind, body, intellect. The entire universe is being illumined by me. I never go out of existence, never, never, because I am absolute reality. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. I am that supreme reality which Upanishads declare as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The Brahman is, as declared in Taittiriya Upanishad, the Brahman, the supreme reality, is of the nature of infinite existence and infinite knowledge. That infinite existence, that infinite being, and that infinite knowledge I am. There is no one other than me who is that infinite existence, infinite light of consciousness that the Upanishads declare. That light is present right now, right here, and yet I somehow, due to ignorance, keep searching for an external God, an external reality, an external anthropomorphic strange entity called God. No, in my presence alone, the entire universe has a presence, has a life, has existence. Once I go out of existence, there is nothing. I never go out of existence. That is why Upanishads say it's beyond existence and non-existence. I am beyond existence and non-existence because the entire so-called existence of phenomenal world of name and forms is an imagination, a projection upon and through me, and the so-called non-existence where there is no name and form, what Buddhists call shunya, that is not void. That void is pure consciousness, free from any agitation, mental modifications. The God, the Brahman, my Atman, is pure pristine for is there. That is why I am beyond existence and non-existence, because I pervade the existence and non-existence both. I never go out of existence because I am Sacchidananda. I am infinite being, pure consciousness and infinite ocean of bliss. Right now I have dissolved my mind into my witnessing consciousness, Sakshi Chaitanya, that is Atman, and thereby now I am in direct contact with Brahman. I am rejoicing, I am typing the infinite bliss of Brahman as stated by Lord Krishna in 28th verse of Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yujjanevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmasha sukhenaiva brahma sansparsham atyantam sukhamasnute. That is the state Lord Krishna is talking about, and I am experiencing right now, and you can do similarly. Understand it. Lord Krishna is saying, When the yogi, the seeker, dissolves his mind and mental modifications and focuses, concentrates his mind in the witnessing consciousness, the Sakshi Chaitanya, the Atman, when the mind is not allowed to go in extroversion journey and it takes a U-turn and it goes within and focuses entire attention on pure consciousness, the Atman, the light of light, that is my own Pratyagatman, which is source of the mind. Thereafter, there is no mind. That is called the state of no mind, and that is the highest state. That becomes the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Since at this moment I am instructing, I am guiding you, I am speaking, yet to a large extent one can experience, but for that the total absorption and tapping the Brahmananda, infinite bliss of Brahman, every act and function of every organ of the body has to be stilled. But if you are an advanced seeker and a self-realized person, that doesn't matter. Even in walking, talking, wherever you are, once you have experienced that supreme union of and resolution of mind in the Atman, Sakshi Chaitanya, then even if you are walking or talking or performing or actions, it doesn't matter, because that is called Sakshi Bhava. You are ever aware about your essence, your Atman, which is a background and basis and foundation and substratum of every single function of your senses, every action being performed by your body and body parts. Therefore, the presence of that Sakshi Chaitanya is never diminished, whether you are awake or dreaming or sleeping or on the move. Whether you're in the market, you are in the midst of the crowd, you are addressing a gathering, that Brahman, the Sakshi Chaitanya, the pure consciousness is ever present reality, and in the light of pure consciousness alone, the entire experience of even of the empirical experience of the world and object and subject experience happens. But that is possible only and only when you test the infinite bliss of the source that is there within your heart, within your intellect. So let me hope and pray that this Nidhi Dhyasan Vedantic meditation, after knowing that the light of consciousness, Atman within me, is the ultimate reality, that is immortal, eternal reality, and dissolving all mental modification, stilling the mind, shutting out the senses, and thereafter abiding and enjoying and rejoicing the bliss of Brahman right now, right here. You are in direct contact with Brahman. That is what Lord Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, and yet it is not so difficult. The difficulty is only that you are so deluded and you are so enamored by the objective, ephemeral, petty world of objectivity that you never believe that you are eternal, immortal, infinite reservoir, not only reservoir, infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty. Not ordinary love, bliss and beauty, but unconditioned, absolute, infinite ocean of bliss and beauty is ever present within you. And the entire love, bliss and beauty that you are seeking in the objective world is a poor shadow, shallow fragment, a tiny fragment of the infinite, unconditioned, absolute love and bliss and beauty that is intrinsic and inherent your own in your own nature, that is in your own Atman. Therefore, That is why it's called, why self-realization? Self-realization is not a path. Those sannyasi and monks who go in search of the truth and seek self-realization, the deluded, the ignorant one think that they are treading the path of sorrow and suffering. Stupid. I have never renounced anything. You have been running after, hunting after the petty, tiny, perishable objects of enjoyment. No sooner you enjoy a drop of the sensual pleasure, it disappears. But I, as a monk, as a Paramhamsa Sannyasi, was in search of the infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty. I did not renounce anything. It's another matter that I realize the pettiness, futility of the sensual pleasures, the pleasures derived from this phenomenal universe and objects of phenomenal universe. And thereafter, I embarked on the infinite journey of infinity, the absolute supreme Brahman. And now I have got it right now, right here, right within myself. And now I don't have to put any effort. I don't have to do anywhere. I don't have to go anywhere, because I am always in what Upanishads call enjoying and rejoicing. Atmarati, Atma Maithuna, Atma Rama. That is, I am always in union, eternal, infinite union of the self, the myself, which is the source, substance and substratum of every single fraction of love, bliss and beauty you ever experience in the world. That is why I am emperor of the emperors. No, all the riches, glamours and glories of the universe, the entire might of the universe is petty in front of my discovery, my realization, my richness. As the Upanishads declare that in impoverishment and poverty external, that emperor of emperor is the richest one. To the ordinary wise stupid people, the monks, the Paramhamsas appear as the naked ones, deprived of all the possessions, but he is emperor of emperors, because he is the one who has realized his infinity, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam Brahma, in which Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanta visam vishanti tad brahma tad vijigyasasva tad vijigyasasva. That is what Upanishads declare, that I am that Brahman, I am that supreme reality in upon which the entire phenomenal universe arises, in and upon which the entire universe exists and sustained, and in which the entire world of names and forms finally dissolves back. I am that Brahman. So that is the first one, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. That is called Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman, that defines the fundamental nature of Brahman. And this, the second one, Yato va imani bhutani, that is called Tatastha Lakshana, that is incidental description of the Brahman. When the entire universe appears, there is no reality to this universe. What Adi Shankaracharya calls Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. More than 99% of the people don't understand the meaning of that. When he's saying Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaivana Para, he is not saying that the world you are seeing is non-existent, it has no reality. No, that is not the meaning. What he is saying is the world as it appears, the world of the names and forms, its substance is Brahman alone, the pure consciousness is the core reality. As in the case of all the golden ornaments, whether the golden ring or golden necklace or golden bangle or chain, these are essentially nothing but gold. As in the case of clay pot, clay cup, clay plate, through and through, all these vessels are nothing but clay. Even so, the entire world of names and forms, this universe is nothing but Brahman of the nature of pure consciousness. The pure consciousness alone has appeared as the entire universe of names and forms. That is the meaning of Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. The world is always real as Brahman, as pure consciousness, as Sacchidananda, but never as names and forms. Tell me what is the reality to the golden bangle or golden chain or golden ring? The ring is just a name. Vacharambhano vikaro, as Upanishad declares. These are only words. Now, if somebody goes, and there are stories that somebody goes to a goldsmith and say that, you take this necklace with you, keep it with you, and I want some gold. And if that person says, now the light has come, the light has come, the light of the physical world has come, but the light of the self is ever self-luminous, so it had never gone. So I kept speaking. The instrument was working. Even if the instrument might not have been active, if it was not charged, so there was no light or absence of light in the presence of Atma Prakasha that could make it go and come. So I was saying that remove the gold from the golden chain, golden ring and golden bangle. Is there anything called a ring, bangle or necklace? No. The golden chain, golden ring, golden necklace is through and through nothing but gold. Even so, this entire universe of names and forms, I, you and everyone and everything is nothing but Brahman, the pure consciousness, Sacchidananda. The pure consciousness and existence are identical, one and the same. The pure being is of the nature of pure consciousness, and pure consciousness is the only existence, is the only pure being, and pure existence and pure consciousness are intrinsically, inherently blissful, ever blissful. All the bliss, love and beauty you experience through senses in the external world are originally borrowed from the bliss of Atman, the Brahmananda, the Atmananda, which is ever present within me. I am infinite ocean of bliss. I am not a renouncer of anything. A Paramhamsa or a monk or a seeker of truth is not renouncing the joy. The life of a monk, life of a sannyasi is not the renunciation of the search for love, bliss and beauty. It's a renunciation of only the false love, false happiness, false beauty. I am in search of infinite beauty, infinite love, infinite bliss and happiness I am in search of. So I am more greedy than you. A Paramhamsa, a seeker of truth, is million times more greedy in a one sense. Because you are happy with the one lover, one beloved, one source of joy, one source of enjoyment, one sensual pleasure. No, I am not. I am in search of, and I have found that infinite, absolute, unconditioned ocean of love, bliss and beauty. And I am ever saturated. I am ever fulfilled. I am ever contented. I am overflowing with the nectar of love, bliss and beauty. Because I have found that my own property, my own possession, have you ever experienced any joy, any happiness without any objective possession? You enjoy some sensual object, some object of perception, some object of a consumption. Only then you derive some pleasure. But that Brahmananda, the Atmananda, is the supreme bliss because it itself rejoices itself, because outside this Atman, the pure consciousness, there is not a fragment of love, bliss or beauty. The tiny particles of love, bliss and beauty you experience and enjoy in your wife, in your husband, in your lover, your beloved, your sons, your daughters, your world, your money, your glamour, glory, all are so pathetic. They are momentary. No sooner you enjoy a few moments of happiness, it comes to an end, and then begins the begging of another bowl of love, bliss and beauty, and you keep running after with the begging bowl. So the richest men and women of the world, the most mighty ones, all the presidents and prime ministers of the world, they are all beggars. They are ever insecure. They are in perennial fear of losing one or the other, the possessions. I am that emperor of emperors who is in possession of the infinite empire of self, Swarajya Samrat, declared by Vedanta. The infinite, absolute, unconditioned empire of self is the only true empire worth acquiring. And that is possible for everyone because it is your true nature. Only due to ignorance and due to association with this petty, perishable body, mind, intellect, you have come to believe yourself the pathetic life, the pathetic reality, the pathetic entity called a Jiva. Jiva is always Shiva in essence. So go deep within. The Shiva is sitting within your intellect, buddhi, the cavity of the heart. The Shiva is ever shining. The Brahmit Jiva is Brahmit Shiva, the deluded Shiva is called Jiva, and Brahmamukta Jiva is Shiva. The deluded Shiva is Jiva and delusion free Jiva is Shiva right now, right here. There is no distinction, no difference. Shivahood is your essential nature, your reality. And once you know, experience your Shivahood, that is absolute existence, there is no sorrow, there is no suffering, there is no fear, there is no insecurity. Do you know, experience for yourself, have you ever spent a single day in your life, even if you are the richest man on the planet or the most mightiest, powerful politician, without fear or insecurity of losing something or other? No, you can't. You can't because by nature you are perishable, petty, deluded, and anything that is finite is bound to be afflicted with insecurity, uncertainty, fear. Therefore, know that infinite. In this finite body-mind, the infinite Atman is ever present. In this mortal body-mind, this immortal Sakshi Chaitanya is present. In this conditioned body-mind, the unconditioned Atman is ever present. In this illusory appearance called mind, body and Jagat, the real Brahman is the substratum and ever present, ever shining, and that light of consciousness alone makes this, even this individual Jiva's life possible. I am shining. I, the Shiva, am shining through the organs of all the Jivas. Every moment my absence can never be proved. Nobody ever in the universe has ever proven the disappearance of one's existence. Has ever anybody? You can deny the existence of God, you can deny the existence of Brahman, you can deny the existence of anything and everything, but nobody can deny the existence of one's own self. Because you are Shiva, you are Sacchidananda, you are Brahman. Therefore, go back to the source of your life in the heart, that is in your buddhi. The Shiva is ever shining as I. Let me hope and pray that you discover that infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty, and then you begin to dance out of joy, of bliss. Chidanandarupah Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupah Shivoham Shivoham